Hello, everyone. This is Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yee-haw. And I am here talking Returnal and some of the things that the game doesn't tell you. Part 1. The reason I say part 1 is because, like you, I'm still playing this game and I'm having a ton of fun with it. But of course, I haven't figured out everything either. So let's get into some things that I swear I didn't see the game tell me. This one might be kind of cheating because the game does make it very clear that you're going to die a bunch and you're going to lose all the stuff you have. However, I still think it's a really good tip, and something to think about is that you are not going to keep anything in your run except for the suit augments you get, items, and ether. We can talk about ether more here in a moment. So that means all the obolites that you get, those are those little glowing gold orbs that drop from enemies and some other places that we'll talk about here in a moment. You should spend those on your run because they're going to go away once you die. And you are going to die. At least if you're me, you're going to die. So this kind of transitions right into, where do you spend those obolites? What is the best thing to do with them? Now, I'm sure there are a lot of great options, but there's one thing you should at least do, which is spend all your hard-earned obolites at the store. Well, this game's version of a store, which has an obolite repository, an integrity augmenter, and a fabricator. You know, a store. What are you buying? You get it. Okay. There are a lot of great options for what to buy. I love an astronaut figurine because it just essentially gives you a respawn. The Obolite repository is such a fun place to spend your money because you're pooling it in with other players and you unlock artifacts by doing it. And the Integrity Augmenter is just really, really great. More health is always welcome. My next tip, shoot everything. I mean, really, everything. If you want more obolites, take a look at those statues, the ones with the glowing eyes. Look at all the obolites they drop when you shoot them. There are so many things in the environment that you can shoot. You can get rewards for it. You can find little hidden areas. Take a look at this. Looks like a regular old wall. Well, let's shoot it open. Oh, hey, there's a whole little hidden area inside here. So I hope this has convinced you to shoot everything and start to figure out what gives you great rewards. Statues with glowing eyes. And some of these walls. Ooh, also switches. If you see a big brick wall in front of a chest and you're thinking, I don't know how to open this, look up around you on the ceiling or on the wall somewhere. There's a glowing switch. Shoot that. This one the game does touch on, but I think it's important to reiterate that your weapon traits inside this game are a form of meta progression. So they will stay with you from run to run to run, where other things will not. When you pick up a new weapon and you see that you don't have one of the traits for it unlocked, I would definitely switch to that weapon and hold on to it until you unlock that trait. That way, the next time you pick up that weapon in any subsequent run, you will have that trait unlocked. It just makes everything more powerful. And in a game like this, a roguelike, where you're making multiple runs, it's a really good idea to focus on things that will power you up for the long haul, not just for the single run. Speaking of that bigger picture progression, ether is one of the only things that sticks with you when you die. So I wouldn't waste it in a run unless you absolutely, absolutely needed it. I would save it to progress in the bigger picture of the game. Back at the crash site, you will unlock artifacts that you will then find throughout subsequent runs with ether. So at least in the beginning, until you unlock a lot of the things you need, I would hold on to your ether. I could be wrong. Once I play some more, I could decide, oh, actually, you can kind of blow ether. Who cares? But right now, I definitely think you should hold onto it. My next tip is to use that mini-map. Not only is it really, really important in combat, but as you can see in this clip right here, I found a little hidden area because of the mini-map. Again, very important in combat, but you will use it often when you're exploring. It will show you where items are, and you'll start to notice little paths that can lead to something exciting. The game makes it clear that you're going to die, but I don't think it stresses the fact that you need to learn this game by throwing yourself way into the deep end. Go into every optional room, go into every challenging room. If you see a room that is a little blue triangle, that is a side room that you don't need to go in to complete the main story, but you absolutely should. If you see the gold room with the star over it, that is a challenge arena room. Go in there, fight all the enemies, learn how to fight. Don't stress about making some incredible build when you start or getting super, super far. Throw yourself in the deep end and learn to swim. Geez, that almost sounded motivational. Oh, and I would say this includes parasites too. You'll figure out what parasites go well together based on their buff and debuff, but at the start, just throw them on. See what it's like to have a bunch of parasites. See what it does to your build. You'll figure it out later, I promise. While we're on it, I just figured I should mention what all the doors are. I'm not sure the exact names for them, but the square doors are essentially the progression through the story door. Nothing special there. The little blue ones are side tangents that don't progress the main quest at all, the little blue triangles. The gold doors with the stars over them are little challenge arenas that you can throw yourself into. And then you'll see other ones that are red that usually indicate a boss or something like that. So those are the doors. I hope that helps. I'm sure those aren't the names, but you get it. Doors. This is some pretty basic shooter stuff, but I felt like it was important to mention. So, you know that bar that's under an enemy's health that certain enemies have and you see sometimes and you fill it up? Yeah, that's like staggering an enemy, in Final Fantasy or something like that. So if you do that, you get a chance to run over and do a ton of damage to them while they're not doing their relentless attack against you. It's a really good idea to take that moment to obliterate that enemy. Also, a lot of enemies have different weak points. Some enemies specifically have armor in certain areas, and you have to shoot their heads. It's often, shooting their head or something. But it's important to notice that and attack enemy weak points when you see them. In general, in combat, you want to be moving around a lot so that you are able to keep your adrenaline up. We'll talk about adrenaline here in just a moment. Something I've noticed overall that really helps is eliminating enemies. It is good to attack whoever you can attack, and sometimes you just can't kill the person you want to kill. But if there's a big tough guy in the arena and a bunch of little small guys, it's a good idea to run around and take out all of his little minions so you can deal with a bigger threat. While sometimes it's unavoidable, you don't get a medal or something for spreading out damage super well. Could you imagine if you get a trophy for that and I'm so wrong? But you don't get a medal for spreading out damage. Eliminate enemies. Okay, here's my last tip. I'm realizing as I'm talking about this game, I could just keep talking and talking and talking because I'm having so much fun with it and it's pretty deep. There's a lot to learn. And of course, as I said before, I'm not the huge pro at this. I'm learning this along with you. Let's talk about adrenaline. There are 5 stages of adrenaline, and if you can, you want to stay at peak adrenaline at all times. I know that's a bit of a no-brainer. It means you're killing enemies without getting hit. Why wouldn't you want to stay at peak adrenaline? Not only do you want to stay there because it means you're not dying and you're killing everyone, it also gives you more obolite. That's also not the only bonus, by the way. You get enhanced overload, which is this game's version of an active reload. Thank you, Gears of War. This should be in every game. I love it. You get enhanced vision at level 2, where you can see enemies through walls and doors. You get enhanced melee at level 3, enhanced proficiency rate increase at level 4, which helps increase your proficiency level, which helps you find better equipment. And then once you're level 5, a 50% increase to obolite gains. And that's pretty huge. Again, this is the resource that you're only going to be using in runs, but it is going to give you more max health, the ability to essentially buy respawns, the ability to buy artifacts and customize your build. It's very, very important to keep your adrenaline up. That way you have enough money essentially to make the build you want. And now let's talk about that Obolite really quick. When you attack an enemy and they die, they drop it on the ground. And if you don't get to them very fast, you don't get to collect it. It disappears. That's something that I did not notice at first, but now I recognize is very, very important. You not only need to be killing your enemies, but you need to be doing it in a way where you can get near them soon enough to collect the spoils of war and get more and more powerful. Okay, I feel like I could keep talking and talking about this game because there is so much to talk about. There's so much to explore. There's so much exciting stuff. My big thought with all of it is just do the thing. Throw the parasites on you, try the new gun, go crazy, run up and slash everybody with your sword. Figure out what is going to make you the best at this game. I plan on making another video like this very soon with more information that I find out, but I hope you found this useful. If you did and you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and follow my channel, like, subscribe, comment, you know all the things. Thank you for watching or listening. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Mwah.